The parallels have always been remarkable between Donald Trump and the man dubbed the Trump of the Tropics, Jair Bolsonaro. Turns out that didn't end when they both left office. Both are now plagued by legal troubles that threaten to end their political careers. In Bolsonaro's case, his hopes of reclaiming the presidency in 2026 appear to be over. Bolsonaro has been barred from running for public office until 2030. Brazil's top court ruled that he abused his power ahead of last year's elections. Judges found that Bolsonaro had used official government channels to boost his own campaign and spread unfounded doubts about Brazil's electronic voting system. Bolsonaro called the ruling a stab in the back. Oliver Stunkel joins me now. He's a political scientist specializing on all things Brazil. Welcome back to The Day. Let's dive right in. Is this the end of Bolsonarismo?
That's the big question. He's been somewhat flying below the radar for the past weeks, has been unusually quiet. In part, some argue, because he's been trying to mollify the courts and perhaps avoid the decision that the electoral court has made today. That it didn't work, and now the big question is what will happen. I mean, he and I've been just following all day pro-Bolsonaro channels, which are fairly quiet. He will still appeal to the Supreme Court. The expectation is that that will not be successful, and then the big question is how will he utilize his tremendous political influence and very committed followership in a moment where he cannot run for office. And the big question is, can he transfer his popularity to someone else, even though nobody on the right, not even his sons, have that common touch and that unique capacity to come across as sort of the common man fighting against the political elite.
Yeah. In the verdict, one of the judges said the facts were incontrovertible, but Bolsonaro, we heard him before, already came out saying this is a stab in the back. And Brazilians, I imagine, highly divided on the topic.
Absolutely, particularly because Bolsonaro has, systematically questioned the courts and said this is all part of the deep state, has sought to erode public trust in the electoral system. And now this is the electoral court saying that he has abused power. Now, those who haven't voted for Bolsonaro are, of course, relieved. There's lots of people in the streets, people celebrating. But at the other hand, Bolsonaro voters are, of course, unhappy. And some are saying that this is an illegitimate ruling. So the big question is, again, how will he react? Will he accept this? His lawyer has already accepted. But, the question is whether he will seek to mobilize his followers. For now, I think the situation, will remain calm. I think the risk of a repetition of the political violence that we've seen in January in the capital is relatively low right now.
Yeah. This case will see him barred from political life for some years, but other pending cases might actually land him in prison. How dangerous a place is he in right now?
Well, I think there are numerous cases that could, under normal circumstances, land him in prison involving alleged genocide of indigenous people in the Amazon, lots of corruption cases, his very controversial role in the fight against COVID, where he emerged as one of the globally leading science deniers, contesting the usefulness of vaccine, etc. However, even the current government believes that putting Bolsonaro in jail may be a problem, but because it will turn him into a martyr and may actually mobilize his followers, increase polarization, which continues to be the major challenge Brazil faces. So, of course, the Ministry of the judges may end up deciding that. But I think, interestingly enough, the president, hopes that this will not be the case. And I tend to agree that a prison sentence would certainly make it more difficult to overcome the profound divisions between the left and the right that shape political discourse in Brazil right now.
That was Oliver Stunkel, political scientist from Brazil. Great speaking to you. Thank you so much for your time.